This is a beautifully structured speech. It strikes a perfect balance between personal vulnerability and universal wisdom, making it very relatable for an audience. I have formatted your draft below to make it easier to read during a delivery. I have also highlighted the bracketed areas where you should insert your specific details to ensure you hit that 20-minute mark. Title: The Person Behind the Run. Total estimated time: 20 minutes. Part 1: The Foundation of Curiosity, 0-100 to 4 o'clock. We often spend our lives looking forward, rushing toward the next goal or the next milestone, without ever taking a moment to stop and look back at the person who is actually doing the running. Today, I want to take that pause. I want to share with you the story of who I am, not just the name on a business card or a social media profile, but the collection of experiences, failures, and small victories that have shaped my perspective. My name is BStoreName, and my story begins in your birthplace, Kenny. Growing up there, the world felt both very small and infinitely large. I remember the sights and sounds of my childhood neighborhood, the way the air felt in the summer, and the specific sense of wonder I had about what lay beyond the horizon. My early years were defined by a sense of curiosity that often got me into trouble, but also taught me that the world is a place meant to be explored. As a child, I was the kind of person who always had a million questions. I wanted to know how things worked, why people behaved the way they did, and what made the stars stay in the sky. My family played a huge role in nurturing this. They didn't always have the answers, but they encouraged me to go find them. This foundation of curiosity is the common thread that runs through every decade of my life. Whether I was playing in the dirt or sitting in a classroom, I was always looking for the why behind the what. This early environment taught me my first major life lesson. That knowledge isn't just something you receive in a book, it is something you actively seek out through experience. Part 2: Growth and Discovery, 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock. Transitioning into my teenage and young adult years was like stepping into a cold pool. It was a shock to the system, but eventually I learned how to swim. This was the era of my life where I began to understand that I was an individual, separate from my parents and my childhood friends. In school, I found myself drawn to subject, e.g., literature/science/history. It wasn't just about the grades for me. It was about the way those subjects allowed me to see the world through a different lens. I remember a specific teacher's name Jewel, who once told me that the greatest skill a person can have is the ability to think for themselves. That stayed with me. It pushed me to challenge my own assumptions and to look for the truth even when it was uncomfortable. However, growth isn't always a linear path upward. There were moments of profound doubt. I remember a time when I felt completely lost. Share a brief story of a failed project, a breakup, or a move. During that period, I felt like I was standing still, while the rest of the world moved at lightning speed. But looking back, those stagnant moments were actually when I was growing the most. I was learning resilience. I was learning that my value didn't come from my achievements, but from my ability to get back up after a fall. This realization changed my entire personality. I became less afraid of making mistakes, and more afraid of never trying at all. Part 3: Passion, Career, and the Present, 9 o'clock to 1500. Today, much of my time is dedicated to your profession or main activity. Choosing this path wasn't an accident. It was the result of all those years of curiosity and resilience coming together. In my daily life, I find immense joy in the small details of my work. Whether it's detail 1, detail 2, E or detail 3, I feel a sense of purpose when I am engaged in my work. But I have also learned the importance of balance. I am not just my job. I am also a person who loves hobby 1, fee, hobby 2, and spending time in Tukul, Anti for Shrushait Sariki place you love. These passions are what recharge my batteries. They remind me that life is meant to be lived, not just managed. When I think about what truly defines me today, it is my philosophy on human connection. I've realized that no matter how much we achieve, the most valuable things we own are our relationships. I try to live my life with an open heart and an open mind. I've traveled to Oiadu for/experience on, and meeting people from different walks of life has taught me that we are all much more alike than we are different. We all want to be heard, we all want to be loved, and we all want to feel like our lives matter. This belief dictates how I treat my colleagues, my friends, and even strangers I meet on the street. Part 4. Reflections and the Road Ahead, 1500 to 2000. As I stand here today, I look toward the future with a mix of excitement and humility. I know that I don't have all the answers, and I know that there are more challenges waiting for me around the corner. But I also know that I am equipped to handle them. My goals for the future aren't just about professional success, they are about personal growth. I want to become a better listener. I want to be a more patient friend. I want to be a person who leaves every place a little bit better than I found it. I want to continue learning, perhaps finally mastering skill or traveling to destination. In closing, if I could speak to my younger self, the version of me that was so worried about fitting in or being perfect, I would tell them to breathe. I would tell them that the journey is the point, not the destination. We are all works in progress, and that is the beauty of being human. We are allowed to change our minds, we are allowed to start over, and we are allowed to be proud of how far we've come. Thank you for listening to my story and for walking down this path of reflection with me. It has been an honor to share my me with you, and I hope it encourages you to think about the unique and wonderful story that you are writing with your own life every single day. Final delivery tips. The pause. After each major section, part 1, part 2, etc., take a 5-second pause. This allows the audience to digest your words and helps you control your breathing. Specifics. In part 3, when you mention your hobbies, try to describe why you love them using sensory details, the smell, the sound, the feeling. This is the best way to expand your time naturally. Would you like me to help you brainstorm